It's Tamara Hunt. And good morning. Yes, it's Service Harris Show in the morning, which is unusual, but it's a special show at a special time. Today is day number 319 of 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. And we have our service hero, one of the Chemo Buddy ambassadors, Kimberly June West. Let me tell you about Kimberly. Kimberly, there's a special story when it comes to Kimberly, and we're going to talk about it. Kimberly has been a part of Chemo Buddies for Life even before I even knew she was, because of our senior ambassador, Sharon. And when I first met Kimberly, it took a while for me to make all the connections. And then I realized, oh my gosh, you're that person. You're that person with the magic potion that Sharon was telling me about that she was spraying on her pillow. And we all know and love and adore Sharon Nichols Ward. And I want to say that it is no surprise to me that among some of the last moments of her time here on this earth, that she made sure that we had the right people working with Chemo Buddies for Life, and one of them is Kimberly. So I just want to say thank you, Kimberly, and welcome to Service Heroes this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You are all in. I mean, everything you do. And oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I need to let you know before we go any further. Yes, you're probably noticing a whole new look and feel of the show. It isn't that I decided to do anything new, which here soon I probably will be. But there was a new update for the app that I use. And so the look and feel is going to be slightly different. And this is the first time we're going live with it. So if I have any hiccups, please forgive me, because it looks a little different on my end too. But I do want to recognize that we've got people already starting to show up, and one of them is our good friend from the Friend Zone, the co-host when we were doing the public service announcements for the Fusion Project, of which we're going to be talking about our time with the Fusion Project. Welcome, Amy. And then we have also T. Lee. And T, she was very instrumental also when we were getting together everything for the Fusion Project, the raffle that we did. And I want to thank you for that, T. You so glad to see that you stopped by to say hi. And you know what, that was kind of cool how that did the little, I'm having fun looking at seeing how that works. It looks like it's doing a round robin kind of thing. So great to see you, and I'm glad that you're about to go out and do your bike ride. And Melissa, good to have you here with us. Thank you.
That's my sister, my stepsister.
Oh, your stepsister, wonderful. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here to support us. So I want to talk about, let's start here, and then we're going to talk about your story, because your story is completely inspirational and it really ties into everything. But I kind of made reference to, and I want to continue the full thought in regards to how it is that I connected with you because of your connection with our very first senior ambassador, Sharon Nichols Ward. Why don't you tell us about that relationship?
Oh man, she is such a light. I still feel like I get visited by her every time I see my pillow spray. You know, it has way more meaning behind it than it did before. I mean, she had such a love for me, for people in general, and for her to just support, even though she was still, I mean, she was suffering a lot in her
Oh
own
yeah,
self, and
oh yeah.
she still got out of herself and would help others, and in that, she made a lot of difference, and she was amazing. She's a very amazing light, even in my soul today. So
Oh, I completely concur with you. It's hard for me to use her name and what it is that she is doing for the Chemo Buddies movement in any kind of past tense, because I feel like with her being freed, if you will, from the her image and her shell that she had here on this earth. And for those of you that do not know, Sharon Nichols worked with our first ambassador, not our first ambassador, but our first senior ambassador. And the story goes that she did pass, and there was a certain timing in it. We won't go into it right now, but it has everything to do with where we are today with the movement going forward in Chemo Buddies for Life. She really did take us international, and I feel her presence a lot because it's like, okay, it's almost like I hear her giggling too, because she had a
Right.
real giggle, and a distinctive giggle that anybody
Mm-hmm.
that, and she would even type it, like we knew she was giggling, and it was like this certain kind of high pitched fun,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
so such an inspiration to us all. Hi, Anne. Good afternoon from the East. So glad that you're here with us. Yes, please shout out where you're from, and hashtag live and hashtag replay. Yes, we all love and miss our dear friend Sharon. Yet, in her honor, I'm so pleased that we're having this show today, and it's not an accident that you're helping me to announce the next evolution in Chemo Buddies for Life. And we have some exciting stuff going on, guys. So you got to stay here for this whole show, because I can guarantee you this: if you're ever going to be inspired by anything, today's show will truly hit your soul, your gut, your heart, and possibly even your will to get involved and say, okay, I'm in. I am going to help make a difference in this world, because that's exactly what we're doing. So you met Sharon towards the latter part of her life, and our dear Sharon, if anybody knows, because she was a senior ambassador, and she was working around the clock, and part of it was absolutely because of the fact that she took the role of senior ambassador. When I asked her she wanted it, she's like, okay, I'm going to figure out what it is, and I'm going to do it. And she did. She figured out
She
what it
did.
was. She made it. And I'm like, you know what? You make it yours. Our program. She had been working with me almost since the beginning. And she knew
Right.
it as well as I did, because we were always working on it together. And so she, with this insomnia, that because of the pain that she was experiencing, she was a stage 4 shut in, for anybody that doesn't, again, know her story. And yet she wasn't a shut in, because our program at Chemo Buddies for Life is digital, and we are touching people throughout the world, and one buddy at a time. And she truly was. Good morning, Renee. Great to have you here with us. One of our Chemo Buddy for Life ambassadors. And we have so much that we will be sharing in regards to the role that you've agreed to take on with us. Greetings, Robert. Great to have you with us. So let's continue. So you got to know Sharon. You found out. I mean, anybody that was connected with her knew that, is like, okay, now I need to be talking to someone in Asia. Now I need to be talking with someone on the African continent. Now I'm going to be, I've got an appointment with someone in, the Eastern Bloc. I mean, she was all over the place. And yet again, she couldn't go in her backyard.
Yeah.
She, her immune issues, because of the stage 4 that she had, was severe, and her doctors, the story continues, that her doctors were completely tracking her, because they didn't understand. They kept telling her, and she's like, honey, it's working. Giggle, giggle, giggle. They're asking me how I'm still alive. And a lot of it was a sheer will to live, because she
Oh, yes.
believed in Chemo Buddies for Life so much, and of course her family and her belief system. And so when you found out that she had insomnia issues, you were able to share with her what it is that you're currently doing, right?
Yes.
Let's tell us about that.
I make products made with essential oils to better your life, better your health, and better your sleep, better whatever.
Mhm.
If there's a sickness, there's an oil. Um,
Mhm.
about 6 years ago, I was told I had a hole in my brain. I had a nervous breakdown. I had PTSD. Um, and was at the very end of I couldn't take it anymore.
Mhm.
I was getting a divorce. I thought it was all going to be over. I did never been at this point in any part of my life. And then I found oils, and they changed everything.
Mhm.
They changed my depression stage. I got off of antidepressants. They changed my anxiety. I got off of anxiety medicine. I'm off of everything but what my fibromyalgia does. And I'm on the lowest dose of what you can take on gabapentin because of what my oils do. So, and today I am just mildly sick because of my oils. I don't get fully sick. I just get partly sick.
Right, right. And in fact, we were talking about this because um, you're and let me tell you guys that she's being very humble about her sickness, and Kimberly, and we're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to dive a little bit more into this because I really believe that the inspiration that we're going to be sharing is absolutely vitally important for you all to understand. And stories are how we can learn from each other. And this has everything to do with what we're going to be announcing today, also. So, but we were talking because a couple days ago, when we were preparing for this show, and when we knew we were going to have the show, and we were preparing for what we're going to be announcing, but we didn't know exactly when the show was going to be. And so we
Right.
were looking at the calendar, and we were trying to figure it all out. And you said, well, I've got this fever going on. And then of course my first question is, well, have you seen the doctor, and are they going to give you antibiotics? And your reaction was
I don't take antibiotics unless I'm.
yeah. Uh-oh, she'll be back. I just have to watch for her, guys. I don't know. Okay, you're here somewhere. Let me find you. There you are. Again, guys, this is a beta. We're just using it for the very first time, their system in the new beta form. So,
Oh, this is so weird.
what is it? Are you here? Do you hear me? Can you hear me, Kimberly? Uh-oh. Okay, she doesn't know that she's live. Let me just have a tell her she is live.
I can't hear you.
You are live and we can hear you. This is fun. It's always interesting when you have streaming media going on. Let me just tell her to go out and come back in. And then we'll just keep talking as we do that. So I'm gonna see if see. Okay, so she's going out. As she goes out, let me just continue some of the discussion that we're having, and then we'll continue as I look for her coming back in. The what was being shared, okay, to join the broadcast. Okay, let me look for where she is. Oh, there she is. Okay. She's coming back in. All right. Can you see us and hear us?
Yes, I
Or you
can
can
see
hear?
and hear
Okay.
you.
Okay, perfect. All right. So let's continue. So your whole reason for this is that you were saying 6 years ago. It's been 6 years since you had, and you used a number that is absolutely mind-boggling for me. You had how many strokes?
Over 1,000 that hit the back part of my frontal lobe.
Over 1,000. Okay.
So
Over.
so normally,
Okay.
People just won't leave me alone today.
That's
Um,
okay.
so when you have strokes on the inside of your brain, you
Mhm.
can't see them. You can't see them. The strokes happen on the outside of the brain. So for 3 months, I suffered with going in constant, either uh, either small strokes or big strokes. Sometimes I couldn't even be watching TV and I just stopped breathing.
So the strokes that you were experiencing, they were multiple, they were ongoing, and it's like you said that you have now permanent issues because of it, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And yet what you have been able to do, and this is the inspiration that I really want to share, is that your Facebook page has sunflowers on it. You have found a way to live in your world and in your life, having some issues. Let's be real. I mean, who
Who
has,
doesn't?
yeah, exactly. Who hasn't lived for a few years and had something happen? And it's a matter of attitude and taking control. And you decided to take control with your oils.
Yes.
And may I add, your service.
I like to be of service to people.
Yeah, you do. You do. And so you find ways to get out there and serve. And is that necessarily what you were born? I mean, were you born with the kind of like attitude of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be a co-host on all sorts of shows and I'm going to, put myself out there in this way and that way? Is that stuff that you saw yourself doing in the past, or is that something that you've grown into?
Well, I've grown into part of it, but I've always loved the stage.
Okay.
And I think God has blessed me with a story to be able to get onto the stages,
Uh-huh.
because I have no fear of billions of people or any of that. Because I know in those billions of people, there's going to be thousands of people laughing at me and crying and there to be better than they were yesterday and know
Right.
that they can be, that that is an option. We're not, we don't make roots and then never come up. Even trees can be rerouted.
I love that. And and the thing that I love about it too is that you said that, and I would say laugh with you, because you are funny. And the two of you, when you and Amy are doing your deal on the friend zone, if you guys don't know the friend zone, check it out. It's on Facebook. If you haven't joined, join. And you talk about a fun place to go that also shows touches your heart. That's the friend zone. So you guys do some crazy fun things between the two of you. I mean,
We do.
I know that I've had cat heads on my head, with apps and all sorts of craziness. And it's like you never know. I mean, there was one time when like all of us were, and who knows who started it, but we were doing the whole, rocking back and forth, and then it was like what we I think Teresa Snyder was there and others were there. And then they're like trying to set people up with that person and doing, I mean, it's just like craziness, fun stuff, nothing crazy, like, that it shouldn't be appropriate, but, just good, wholesome fun.
Oh,
And
totally.
being willing just to be a little, if you will, silly, right?
Oh, totally. That's the number one quality there.
And I love that because and again, because of the buddies and what we're doing, it goes along with it, because I did capture some images that I wanted to share as we're telling this story. And that is, um, we have three words that we wash everything through at Chemo Buddies for Life, and one of them is humor. We believe in it, and so much so that we believe in the kind of humor that makes you laugh, like your belly is hurting, and that I always say the milk is going to come through your nose and all that kind of stuff,
That's
because
it, right.
because it really is you talk about the ability to heal. Laughter can truly heal, correct?
Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Yes, I agree.
So, all right, guys, get your paper in out because we're going to be we're kind of going somewhere with all of this. So we're talking about humor. Okay, we're going to talk about something else. Another word. I'm going to be bringing her back on. Sorry. Again, forgive me, guys. Okay, she's here. I just have to find her again. It's a completely different system than it used to be. Okay, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. You're here. I hear you. Keep talking. I'll find you. There you are. Okay. It's a beta, guys. So
Why is my phone doing this?
no, that was me. That was my
Oh,
problem. I
oh,
hit the wrong thing on that one. Um,
oh, okay.
okay, now I'm going to bring another thing up. We're going to be now talking about hope.
I like that
Hope.
picture.
Thank you. I do too. It's fun. Hope is something that people, you know, too many people lose track of sometimes, and maybe don't realize how important that four-letter word is. When you see hope, what do you think of, Kimberly?
Oh, I think of happiness. I think of people who are just trying to make it through today.
Right, right. And kind of that whole "you can do it" attitude, right? You can do it,
Yes,
and having a community that helps you to see that and to help you through the hope piece of it, that's huge.
yes,
Okay, and then we're going to get to this heart. Heart is such a, kind of like it pulls us all together, right?
I agree.
And yet, sometimes our heart can be on fire. Sometimes our heart can feel like it's nearly broken, because our heart is part of what at Chemo Buddies for Life we put the experience of even losing some of our buddies like Sharon, that would go under heart. And so why I'm sharing all of this is because we are announcing today, and I am actually recognizing this amazing service hero, Kimberly June West, for her service for Chemo Buddies for Life in the ambassador thread over the last period of time. Because you've been doing what every single morning?
I give good morning messages in hopes that it will give hope to somebody else that day, that will make them smile. And I think everybody is a beautiful soul. We all have beauty on the inside of us. And so it doesn't matter if you don't think you do. I know you're beautiful. So I like to tell people that every day because
And
sometimes they forget.
they do, huh?
They do.
Or life happens and maybe they're struggling that day or whatever it may be, and you always, it's like, I look forward to it now. You and actually Carol, the two of you, have been in our ambassadors thread. You have been encouraging us. You make us giggle. You give us the hope and the heart, and it always seems like that morning you have the message for that is just needed for that day.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And so I actually came to you and I asked you if you were open to now sharing that within the Chemo Buddies community, right?
Yes, yes.
So today we are announcing to everybody that in combination with the fact that, truthfully, the fact that I was able to win the next Impactor, that's allowing us to move forward at a quicker rate.
Which was the most amazing thing ever.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I have to say, I'll bring down the trophy. The fact that I was able to win this is really it's a tribute to all of our ambassadors, to all of our teams. I mean, we had so many people working on this because it's all about the buddies, and that's what we made it all about. And so in true fashion of following through with your word, that's what we're doing. And we are going to be announcing here soon that we will be loading a beta site for Chemo Buddies for Life, where we'll be able to have profiles and people will be able to search to have their own buddies. But not everybody wants a buddy. Many, though, want to be part of the community. And we've been doing that more in a onesie twosie way because we were still growing, and the different ambassadors were taking different buddies or different buddies combos and touching them in that, high touch, giving the love, humor, hope, and heart that way. However, now, in combination with the Buddies site that we are going to be announcing soon, we are starting up, and let me get this. I loaded it and I want to get it going. We are starting up the Chemo Buddies for Life Daily Positive Chat.
Yay!
We're excited about this because this is the very first time that we are starting, and this is a start, guys, because there's a lot coming around the corner. At some point in time, you guys will see what all we're building for the community. But this is the start of the community feel for Chemo Buddies for Life for anybody that is affected by cancer, the patient or those people that love and support them. Plus, we welcome others that are dealing with issues that they feel that they want to be in an inspirational community. And so we have a few of our ambassadors that are already loaded into the positive chat. We will be having your positive quotes and images, and you actually go out and take pictures, and then these are not things that you just capture somewhere. You actually create these.
I do. I find the quote, if it's not a quote that I've already written myself, because I do write quotes. But I do take the pictures. That's why I stopped doing them like just of my scenery, because people thought I was just using a different, like they just thought I was spamming them, and this is nowhere near spamming. This is me taking 30 minutes to provide something that I know is clear. You can read it, and it's beautiful, it's breathtaking, it's just, it's of my adventures. Lately I've been doing them of my adventures because those are some beautiful pictures. I live around some beautiful land and scenery, so my camera has it really easy. So when you have good scenery, it's always good. So but the last couple of days, I know I took them of my just what's around me, because this silly sickness.
Right, which we cannot wait for you to get back out, because one of the things that you had shared with me, now let's keep going on your story, your inspirational story, and then we'll bring this back up again. You because of the fact that you know that you need to always be self-healing, you need to be really concentrating on self-care and how important that is. In fact, you inspire me. In fact, you even, in the friend zone, they have fun games, and I won this because of the friend zone. But you sent to me this, and I love the smell of it. This pain balm, and that you special, you're like, okay, you need this. Okay, I'm going to send this to you. You want it. And these are things that you use. They're things that you actually create, right?
Yeah, that sits right beside me.
So it's KW
Natural.
naturalfixes.com. So, and you actually then, in our raffle that we did not long ago, I'm looking for the image, guys, bear with me, it's here somewhere. You actually then you gave some product for the raffle, and then you also gave product to the Fusion Project for the
Yes.
girls. And
Yes.
and and Michelle was very excited about that, and I cannot wait to hear how that's all gone. I'm sure we will. And so again, going back to your story, you were saying to me that one of the reasons that even the time that we were doing this a special time is because part of what you really do for your self-care is that you get out.
Yeah.
And and let's talk about that, because not always is it easy to push ourselves out of our comfort level, even if we know that that is the best thing for our overall health. And you've learned how to do that.
Yeah. I have. So 18 years ago, I had a major bleed on my brain, which led me to the point of living life, because you never know when your time is. But I've realized that my time on this earth is supposed to be making people happy. But if I can't find happiness within myself, I'm never going to make anybody happy, because it just, my happiness comes within my soul. So if my
I love that.
soul is not happy, then I show it. I mean, I am a true visionary. Like, you can see everything on me, as you can see that I don't feel 100%. It's just the way that my body is. I show that I'm super happy, I show that I'm super sad. I'm just a very visual person. You can see who I am from the way you see me. So I've learned that I have to get out into the wilderness, because I love nature. Nature is one of those things that you stand by a tree, and if you have anxiety, that anxiety is going to go away.
Mhm,
Why? Because you are next to a tree that is standing, and you're standing next to it, and you can feel the tree. So now you are grounded,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
and that in itself is relieving. I don't usually go where there's a lot of people, because I want to find cool rocks, and so that's a type of my meditation, is finding these rocks. I mean, uh, so I have little setups around my house,
Oh, fun. Look at that.
and so I just have I have rocks everywhere.
I love it. Oh, wow. Look at that. Yes.
And so we're all kind of like rocks. I mean, I did a live on this the other day. But here's a tiger rock. Look at this.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
But
I have a new puppy that kind of looks like that.
oh, that's cool. I think that I want to start collecting these, because these are wishing rocks. Do you see the halo
Oh,
that is
yes, I
on
do.
that's on that rock? That's naturally formed that way. Okay? So
Oh,
here's another one. It has a pink halo.
how
And this one,
incredible.
I want to start sending them to the Chemo Buddies.
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
finding them everywhere, and I'm like, there has to be a reason. Look at this one. It has so many rings around it.
Oh, I love it.
I just thought that that was the coolest thing. I'm like, you can sell these for like $2 for this small one, and we're finding them for free. I mean, nature's amazing.
Nature is amazing, and you know what is also amazing again is your heart, because and this is where I really want people to understand how Chemo Buddies for Life, the ambassadors and those that are the volunteers, the different people that are involved in our organization, in all the different specialties, because we've got different teams. However, we all of those that have come forward have amazing souls, amazing stories, amazing hearts, and inspirational messages. And in fact, as you and I actually, yes, I actually got filled it with my own coffee, but I have this today to represent another thing we're going to be talking about today, and that is soon. Be watching for the announcements. We are going to be having one of what Sharon used to say. Okay, so let's have coffee, right?
Yes, coffee
She's
time.
It's coffee time. That's right. And it was always time to have coffee with Sharon because it didn't matter what time of day or night. She was
Yeah.
always, okay, dear, okay, honey. So, okay,
Yeah.
honey, let's have
Right.
coffee. And you'd have coffee with Sharon. And in her honor, again, we are going to be starting at the Chemo Buddies Coffee Club. Yes, yes,
Yay!
yes. And Carol is here too because Carol used to have coffee with her too. Yes, woohoo! We are so excited about this. And we are going to here soon be letting everybody know where that show will be started from. And we are going to be having kind of like one of those coffee club shows where we'll have the different ambassadors that are in the Chemo Buddy for Life daily positive chat. Okay, we are going to be having the chat. Those that are involved in the chat also are going to be at different times coming on the coffee club, and then we're going to be giving out phone numbers for the chemo buddies and those that are involved to call in, possibly ask questions, tell us what you're thinking, and have a chat, have an opportunity to visit. Because in building a community, it's all about us. It's not about we're not a big, huge corporation, guys. We are a nonprofit that is an actual community, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. And
And go ahead.
oh, and I also feel so strongly about this, also because, I had cervical cancer. I didn't have to go through chemotherapy. They wanted me to, but what was it? 7 years ago, I had my first uh, irregular, it was a good pap smear. Like nothing was wrong with it. So, first one since I was 19 years old. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so they just kind of just stuck around and just made it an abnormal, and now I have normal ones for the last 7 years. So that's pretty awesome. So that's
That
another
is.
reason why I have a heart for all of you guys.
And thank you for sharing this. Again, inspiration. And that's what, let's be real. Anybody that's been involved in cancer one way or another will be able to say, yes, I get it. In fact, all of our ambassadors that are involved in this totally get this one. There are plenty of groups out there. Let's be real. There are
There are.
plenty of groups out there. However, there are not a lot of positive, inspirational groups that are a community that are building, um, if you will, a support system so that you're not feeling isolated and alone. I know that, and I'm not trying to say anything negative here, guys, not at all, because everybody has their different way of dealing with life.
Right.
And so for those groups work great, happy that those are there for you. However, when I was going through mine and I was in isolation, I was not finding a lot of the groups that I was looking for that would inspire me with humor, hope, and heart, that would help me to say, okay, I can get through this next moment because the 1 minute was too far away from me.
Right.
And there are those that will be saying, yeah, I get that right now because that's exactly where I'm at right now. And yeah, we need to work together to make it, and so that those that are looking for the positive inspiration, like what you just shared, those positive stories, not that you can't be real, because there's a balance, right?
Yeah, there is.
So we are welcoming you. We're starting it here on Facebook. Facebook is kind of like where we started. We started our Chemo Buddy for Life fan page on October the 1st, 2 years ago, and at 12:01. And so, nearly 2 years later, we are building to a point where here soon we're going to be having our first beta site where we'll be able to populate, and so that you can match for buddies for both the patient and those people that love and support the patient, so that you can find someone to talk with.
Right.
However, join our community chat and be inspired and come and participate with us, because we are growing, and we are going to be growing globally, because we have now the resources. I just had a meeting this morning, and I want everybody here to save a date. I'm going to be putting it out there a lot. And this is the save the date post, because we will be having the Healing Through Connections 24-hour telethon.
Oh,
And
wow.
there is
Cool.
a lot that we are working on behind the scenes. It is going to be so amazingly cool. It's the second annual one. So anybody that remembers the first annual knows how crazy and fun it was.
Yeah, it was fun. That was really cool. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
It's
That's
been one.
so.
It's been 1 year since we. Yeah, this is our second annual. So it was. It was 2 years ago in November, and so we're starting to save the date now, because Giving Tuesday this year is December the 3rd, and
Awesome.
we are going to be doing it that much bigger and better, because of the fact that we have resources to be helping us with building Chemo Buddies for life, because of the next Impactor. So I want everybody to realize that we've got going on. And so then we've got Carol here. If anybody, we are looking for volunteers like Kimberly. If anybody wants to join us in making this happen, we will be having our very first Zoom call this coming Wednesday. So comment, get a hold of either myself, Carol Brown, ask Kimberly about it, and we'll get you the link, and so that you can get involved, because we're a community, aren't we? She tell me when you're here. If I She will be here in a moment, guys. I know it. So as we continue to go, and again, it's live, streaming live, and you never know. Fortunately, connect with so many. Fortunately, seem to have to connect with so many to do. Unable to name them all. Okay, my phone died. Okay. Um, all right. It seems that her phone died. And so, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and finish up and let you guys know about a few more things. We have a landing page. And if you have not yet gone to the landing page, do, because right now we are in the process. I just filmed yesterday a little video for our first newsletter, that I want to say thank you to Coco, one of our ambassadors, that she is producing. And laptop. Okay, and I'm not sure what you're saying here, Amy. So she's on a laptop. If you are coming back in, Kimberly, please just say something when you come in, and I'll find you. All right, so let me continue. The newsletter is going to be giving you updates on what's going on. Plus, I want you to register now. I haven't been pushing this lately, but now we have a reason why. And that is, go to the landing page, Chemo Buddies, the number 4life.org. That is our landing page. You will only be asked to give us your first name, your last name, and an email address. You will immediately get the celebration journal, which is thank you. All right, that makes total sense. She's telling Kimberly to go onto the laptop. That you will get a PDF that you can print off. It's over 100 pages, or you can use it digitally, and it is to help inspire. It has some work areas, how to use a journal, some free form areas, quotes. It's fun. And so that's a free gift to you. We want you to go ahead and do that, because this will be our way of being able to contact you as we go live with the upcoming website that we will be going live shortly with for the 24-hour telethon event. And we will also be able to let you know when the beta site is ready to start being populated. Now remember, as we start to populate the website, it's going to take a little while for our website to have enough people to search. So we're going to ask for you to declare. You'll have to declare either, like myself, I qualify both as a support buddy or a chemo buddy. And a chemo buddy, to remind everybody, doesn't mean that you have to be going through traditional treatment. It means that you've been diagnosed with cancer. So you could consider it a cancer buddy. But we call them chemo buddies because of the original chemo buddies, myself and my original buddy. It doesn't matter if you're going with traditional, alternative, or adjunctive. We just ask that you have a buddy or be a part of the buddies community. So we would like for you to go there so that you can get updates, because we're going to be working quite quickly here soon. There's a lot happening, and it's all for our community. Let people know about the Chemo Buddies positive chat, daily positive chat. And what we will be doing with that is we will be loading your name in. We're not just going to arbitrarily put buddies in. So if you're a chemo buddy right now, do not just assume that you're going to be going in. We want you to know that you're being put in, because we don't just do that. That's one of the things. I'm looking to see if maybe she just contacted me. No, I don't think so. So a lot happening. Join us. Join Chemo Buddies for Life and be inspired. Get involved. Become a volunteer. Because when you're serving others, you're actually, in the end, helping to serve yourself. And remember that we all have a service hero inside of us, and together we are making a difference. All right, let's see. I have a friend that raised money for groups, diagnosed very, very rare cancer. Okay, so let's talk. Remember one thing to tell you about the person inside. Add quality. Okay, so anybody that has ideas, I want to hear from you, because we're very collaborative. We are very much a community that is by our community for our community. I may be the figurehead, if you will, or the face, but it is not about me. You will find that out. And as you start to learn more about what we are getting ready to start announcing for the upcoming second annual event that will be taking place on Giving Tuesday, oh my gosh, I'm getting excited. This is going to be absolutely spectacular. So as we start to round about the hour, we started at 10 after. We're just about at the top of the hour. I want to do this. I want to say to Kimberly June West, and bring her image up, that Kimberly has been inspiring me and so many others for a period of time now. Every single morning, she and Caroline Brown, many of you know her as, have been inspiring our ambassadors with these amazing quotes and thoughts for the day, and it just seems to be the right thing at the right moment. We are now going forward with these thoughts for our Chemo Buddy for Life community, and we're going to have ambassadors in there. We will be there to help inspire, to root for you. We are asking this, that we keep it positive, there's a lot that happens when you're dealing with cancer. And again, it's not that we're not going to have it be real. However, there's a balance. And we are raising, if you will, the frequency. We are raising the healing, and we are raising human hope and heart through a community of buddies that we are seeing actual results. And that is because we are protecting it. We are protecting it through our ambassadors and through our volunteers to keep it moving forward with the light of a healing ray. Again, whatever choice you make for your healing. And let's also recognize the fact that you out there that possibly have lost your patient, your person that you were the support buddy for, maybe a loved one, a beloved friend, a coworker, maybe you're even from the medical community, and someone really touched you, and you, every time you think of them, you might get misty eyed, and it could be that it was decades ago. Because you know what? I know this, that I am a support buddy too. And one of the first people that I lost due to cancer was my grandfather. And I still get misty eyed. However, I can talk about him now without breaking down and crying. There for so long I couldn't. And it's been the work that I've done within Chemo Buddies for Life that has helped me to get to this point, and supporting our others that are dealing with this. So if this story touches you and you think, wow, you know, I wish you would have had this when I was supporting someone. I wish they would have had this. They felt isolated and alone. I wish that someone I knew would not have been crying out in the middle of the night because they were afraid. They didn't know what was going to happen in their life, and they were fearful. That day now is soon to be over. The buddies are here. So if you remember someone and you would like to support someone else, please join us. Go to chemobuddiesforlife.org and register, and be finding out when we are going to be populating the site. I also want to encourage survivors. We need you. We need you to register and become a part of our community, because as new buddies come, they're going to want to hear success stories. They're going to want to hear from those that have been there and done that. And we want you to register now so that when we say, okay, go in and populate a profile, we can then send through the newsletter or through an email, it's time. So it's time. It's time. Go to chemobuddiesforlife.org, register, and then we together are going to absolutely, without a doubt, impact the world one buddy at a time. You ready? You ready to do this? I am. I'm more than ready. It's time. It's time that we take control. It's time that we say, cancer, you don't have the power that you once did. And it's because of us, the buddies, and a community of like-minded, purpose-driven individuals that we are going to truly change the way cancer is done. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, all of the ambassadors. And thank you for joining us today. Go out there and make it an amazing day. And don't forget to go and register. Let us know you did. #live, #replay. Thank you.